preview the rest of ACC women's basketball postseason play as former Wake Forest basketball star LaChina Robinson. Now, we already know Maryland is a lock with their ACC title win over Georgia Tech. Who else is a lock for the NCAAs?
Well, you're right, Kelly. Maryland is in, and then you have a very good Duke team. You've got Georgia Tech. Joanne Boyle with Virginia will lead her team in her first season to the NCAA Tournament. Miami, it's going to be fun to watch Shanice Johnson and the Hurricanes play in the postseason. Then there's a lot of conversation right now about whether or not North Carolina is on the bubble. I say they're in, but it depends on what else happens down the line.
Interesting. I got to hear your case for the Heels. Why should they get in?
First and foremost, they do have quality wins. They beat Miami. They beat Virginia twice, which will also be included in the field. But the thing to keep in mind, this is a team that was riddled with injuries throughout the course of the year, which is why they had some key losses that affected their RPI. And I think Coach Hatchell has done a great job towards the end of the season of righting the ship. You go from losing to Duke by 40 to a 6-point margin of win for the Blue Devils over the Tar Heels. And then also Clemson. North Carolina was beat by Clemson in January. They turned around and beat them by a sizable margin in the ACC tournament. This is a team that is playing better basketball.
Well, we'll find out on March 12th when the field is announced. Then they go on to play the first round on the 17th. There's a pretty big gap there from the ACC tournament to the start of the NCAAs. How does that affect performance?
Well, it can go a variety of ways. It depends on your team, the makeup of your team, and what your coach believes needs to be done during that time. Do you rest your team? Do you continue to practice them to keep the energy up, to keep that intensity and that focus? So there's a lot to be considered. If you've got injuries, you may need to rest some student athletes. Maybe your campus is on spring break. It's a lot of free time, no matter how you slice it. But most coaches try to find a blueprint. They might even lean on some of their colleagues to figure out what are the best ways to keep your team up as you try to make a run deep into March.
Selection Monday right around the corner. For LaChina Robinson, I'm Kelly Nash. Thanks for joining us.